Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our live radio show. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany will begin in just a few moments. Please stay tuned. Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, you're so alive. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity.
Hello and welcome to Moments of Clarity. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and I'm your host. And sorry, Ed, keep you waiting. We're going to talk about what you need to know before school starts. Everything you need to know about getting your kids ready, what you guys as children or students should expect, and everything along those lines. I want to say hi to Ed at Stand Talk Radio.
Hey, happy Thursday. Thursday.
Happy Thursday. So Ed, we're going to talk about, since summer feels like it just started, on Melissa, your volume's really loud. Whatever that is.
Felt like the roof just caved in.
So we've got Melissa Kent, the educational consultant, and she pretty much knows all the things that you need to know and that the schools don't tell us about. If you're a parent that is getting ready for school to start, so a lot of us are like, as parents, so ready, yay, summer's over and get the kids back to school. But then everyone that's been enjoying no traffic on the way to work, no school stops, all that stuff, that's about to stop as well.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing when people have to adjust that, all of a sudden there's a delay getting to work because
Yes.
more traffic and more school stops and stuff like that. But then traffic on the way home and that kind of stuff. But no more summer vacations, no more trying to keep the kids busy, and there's getting a good education. So, Ed, this is Melissa Kent. She's been on the show before.
Yep.
Talking about all that. And she's a whiz at when we have sound errors to call in.
You can hear me
try to
though,
make
right?
We can hear you, but really loud. But
I'm really.
Before it was no sound at all. We just have to go with the extreme. But Ed, you can guide us along the way about sounding.
Okay.
So anyway, and things when you call in with questions, we're taking live questions. 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340, and say hi to Ed when you do. So my guest today is an educational consultant specialized in individual education plans and 504 accommodation plans. She has a master's degree in exceptional student education from University of South Florida and has over 10 years of teaching experience. So she knows not only the ins and outs of the school, but what the in the back door of what the school doesn't tell us, basically, and as a teacher and consultant. She happily serves her clients by preparing them for meetings, attending school meetings for them, following up with the school to ensure that proper follow through with accommodations. She has a passion for helping her students succeed, and her mission statement is simple: your child's success is my success. And welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. Melissa, and just
Oh, thank you so much.
fix your camera a little bit so that your head's not cut off. But other than that, we're good. So, Melissa, thanks for being here. I love having you as a repeat guest because, and especially if you're listening on the radio, she's local in Clearwater, Florida, and she really does help with a lot of parents and with children when they're not reaching their full potential in life, in school, and you have questions thinking like, should I put my child on a 504 plan? Or what do I need to know preparing for next year? Or what is an IEP? Or should my child be on gifted programs, things like that? But and so she started this consulting company that you can hire her to be there for you, answer all those questions, because it's really often hard to get hold of the guidance counselor at the school. And not only that, they don't cover everything you need to know. But welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, Melissa Kent.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. It's always an honor to be on your show.
I love having you here too. And so, okay, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know I gave the bio, but a little bit about yourself and why you have a passion for doing this and your moment of clarity so I can ring the bell.
That's a great question, and I appreciate you asking. So when I first started out teaching, I worked with really young students, ages 3 and 4, and it was there that I learned that I am just passionate about the students who need a little extra push or the students who needed a little extra more support. So
Right.
after a year working there, I went and got my master's degree in exceptional student education because that's where I knew my heart was at with the kids with special needs.
Takes a special person to do that, to be honest.
And since then, I've held many teaching positions as an intervention specialist, a variant exceptionality specialist, classroom teacher. So I have, like you said, been in this school, so I know the ins and outs of it all.
Yeah, and that's like the perfect person to get on your side is someone that knows all the things that people don't tell us. So I have 2 children in the school system, different grades, elementary and a different level, and I've spoken with you about what to do, and it's been very helpful of what school zones to go to, what things like that. I want to hear questions from parents. If you'd like to call in, 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340. And when is also tax-free shopping. I think adults even get benefits for that, but I think that's coming up next weekend or something.
I believe it's this week.
It's this week right now?
Yeah, the back to school no tax free week, yes.
So even if kids in school right now, you still get supplies and paper towels and all that stuff tax-free.
Yes, if you're planning on getting them new clothes, now is the time for sure.
And even adult shoes, I mean, because they can't tell if it's for your child or how big their feet are. Any clothes, everything's tax-free. Bonus, but anyway.
Yes.
So, so what are some things or common questions that parents ask you about their child?
Many times parents ask how they can be more involved. So I simply say have open communication with your child every day, especially with the school. If you have any concerns about them going back to school, it is important to contact the school. I know students are not back yet. They return August 10th. However, teachers and support school staff are returning to school. So now is a perfect time if you wanted to meet one-on-one with your child's teacher before school starts to really make sure that your kid is headed towards success. So it's really important to have that open, ongoing communication.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things mental health wise that go on with the parents and the schools and the teachers and the children that are different today than they were back in our generation with millennials and social media and Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok and all these things that are good resources for some things, but also children are comparing themselves to others. They're putting themselves out there and feeling more insecure, maybe leading up to mental health issues, anxiety about going back to school or depression, and it's common and or not knowing what to expect or integrating into a different school because from fifth grade to sixth grade schools didn't have fifth grade or middle school, so they have to go into a whole different school, and so you might be experiencing a lot of mental health, anxiety, dread, or even positive anxiety from your child right now or the parent.
Yes.
And
from what I gather,
very common.
there's lots of mixed feelings about going back to school. But yes, you are so right about anxiety in school. There are so many kids who feel anxious and depressed and scared and alone, and they shouldn't have to suffer. And that's why there's people like yourself and I that are here to help and make sure that kids are set up for success.
Especially if they were bullied last year or if they
Yes.
had a run out with some people from their school last year that could have declined in their grades and performance and things like that. And from what I've learned, because I got involved with some of the schools, that there's only so much supervision and so many school staff that they can only do so much. That's what I feedback from certain schools. And it's a shame because
It is.
that is a lame excuse for when there's like a jumping of a student in the bathroom or a child being threatened or something and scared, and they will be like, okay, we'll have just a mediation meeting where that doesn't help them, things like that. There could be more of that. Do you protect that kind of stuff as well?
I do, absolutely, 100%.
You go in full fists and say, stay away from my friend.
Yes, for sure. Mental health is health, and I treat it just like if it were a physical health condition. And students can receive accommodations for mental health issues. And I really appreciate that you brought this up because there needs to be more discussion around it and less stigma around it. So thank you so much for bringing that awareness.
And I know that you're part of a counseling center and even considered doing a social skills group. We've talked about it together. So we're going to get to that in a minute. It's time for our break, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. So please stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Lucy Lopes, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, Please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOCwithtiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tam Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Warner.
Hello, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're going to be talking about all you need to know, any questions you have about your child or students or your own mental health before school starts. And it starts in 2 weeks. So a lot of anxiety from a lot of parents. Melissa, just stand back and so we can see. And it's funny whenever I post on a show, it's either not enough volume or too much. Put the camera back so that we can see your head. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Anyway, okay, so what are some things off the top of your head that parents don't think to ask that they should coming into the school? And besides meeting the teacher in the meet and greet and that kind of stuff that would alleviate stress in the home or for the child, or to make yourself feel more involved without getting that across the board automated school, welcome, Connell's families, whatever, this is your whatever superintendent, da 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 da. We all get those random automated calls right before school, and then we have the meet and greet and all this stuff like weeks before school starts, where it's kind of like, why all of a sudden, like, I don't know, things like that.
So definitely you're going to want to ask your child's teacher what's the best way to communicate with them. Some teachers prefer email. Some teachers have apps that they prefer to communicate with, but that's going to be your main source communicating between home and school. And
wait, they have apps?
Yeah. Some teachers will use apps like Class Dojo as a behavior management, so parents can see throughout the day how their kids are performing, how they're behaving. It even has like a takeaway system, so parents can see if the child is not participating, not doing what they're supposed to. So those are very important questions to ask the teacher. Do you have an app that you like to communicate, or do you prefer email or phone? Most teachers are very happy to meet with parents. So if you have any questions, feel free and use them as a resource, because they want to work with you hand in hand to ensure that your child is set up for a successful school year.
Right. What about the app would be great. That's that's something that I've never heard of.
Yeah, it's great. I used it in the classroom. So it can monitor their behavior. It can, if a kid wasn't feeling well, instead of sending them to the nurse right away, I just called the parent on the app and took a picture of their scratch, so it's a great way to communicate. Most teachers do have apps that they use, just because it communicates with parents and the students are involved. So it's a great resource for teachers to use. Yes.
What else? So what about curricular decisions? For certain schools, they offer different types of specialized. I know certain schools, and I don't know which ones in this area does what, but I kind of have an idea. But I think like Pinellas Park does EMT specialization. They're like 3 minutes, and one of them is culinary specialized. Like they're little extra programs, or ones that works with rocket building or computer tech, or how do you decide which school you would want to get your child enrolled in? With
That's a great question because, as you know, Pinellas County has many options. We have public, charter, and then we have magnet schools, and then you have schools with programs.
So what are the difference between others? Between mainstream, charter, then there's the STEM program, and then the magnet. What are the differences between those kind of schools?
Sure. So, a charter school is a free public school. However, they usually have a focus. For example, I worked at one where their main focus was science. So they had more flexibility in the scheduling than a public school with the science curriculum. So usually a charter school will have uniforms. It's free, but they will usually have a program involved in it. So the one I worked at was STEM. So that stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So we did a lot of hands-on activities like Lego robotics and building and crafting things. And I did a lot of group collaboration projects. So if your child is interested in hands-on stuff, I would definitely look into the local charter schools. You're going to want to do that soon because a lot of them are on a wait or full. And then there are the high schools have different programs too, depending on the age of your child. But for example, Countryside High School offers early the STEM program in early college. But yeah, it just all depends on what your child is interested in and what works best for you and your family.
Yeah, so okay, that's another thing is, I actually have teen listeners that are trying to plan their future as well. And as well as what parents think that their child should do. Lately, it's kind of funny. No one's in a rush to get their driver's license. I wouldn't say no one, but not many. I remember back in the day, my 15th birthday, we were at the DMV. I want my learner's permit. 16th birthday, DMV. Driving home from there. I was driving myself to school with a license. They couldn't wait, and now it's like, I guess I'll apply. They expect parents to drive them around longer, or Uber, or whatever. So those things are being pushed on the side. But not only that, a lot of schools have that program where you can do dual enrollment with colleges and early release. I've seen it benefit on both ends. So I have clients that have done early graduation, and they graduated by sophomore year, maybe junior year at the latest. And they missed out on junior prom, senior prom. They stopped socializing with a lot of kids that still went to school. And it was a negative effect for their socialization and their friendships and memories because they finished early. However, they got an associate's degree by the age of 16. So it's like, it's kind of what you want and what parents want.
Yeah, it's really important to navigate all your options and really make a pro and con list, because there's definitely about each side and there's definitely negatives about each side. So it's important to talk to somebody about it and be resourceful, because this is your child's educational path and you want to make sure that you're making a right, because it is going to directly impact their future.
I mean, most of our memories come from high school because it was the
Mm-hmm.
formative years, and we were trapped in the building with all the people in
Mm-hmm.
their same name and everything. And we remember prom and homecoming and just traditional stuff, even though a lot of kids don't care about it right now. I don't know, but a lot do. Also, there's something that I learned that everyone should know, that there's something called Bright Futures, and I know
Mm-hmm.
you know about this, where you can get scholarships and grants, and it's mostly for children that want to volunteer,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes towards um, scholarships and college funding. They can grant, but Governor DeSantis just a couple weeks ago signed a grant that if they're working, their work hours can go towards Bright Futures. So there's a lot of children that their families need them to work, and
Uh,
or they want them to work. And so let's say they have a job at Publix or whatever, that accounts towards the Bright Futures. So credits, and then because who wants to work and then do volunteer? It's and a lot of families, the child has to work because they need to help out the family or save up for college or whatever it is. Do you want to
yes,
explain
I
more
yes.
about what Bright Futures is?
Yeah, I love that you brought that up. So Bright Futures is if students volunteer 100 hours, but now it's they can use the work. So
Hmm.
as long as they are working,
Thank goodness.
yeah, I'm so glad. 100 hours and maintain the GPA, then they would be eligible for scholarships in the state of Florida. So it is something that is definitely,
And it looks great on a college app.
yes, 100%. Yes.
And that's like very admirable because before a lot of students over the summer they wanted to volunteer at certain places at nonprofit organizations and everything, which if you have the time and volunteer at an art camp or anything like that, that's great. But then there's also some families that want their child to experience work ethic. I get talk to me. And not only that, they want to save up for a car insurance,
Mhm.
or learn how to do banking or build up their credit. And that's very important too. And you don't get that from volunteering. So it makes sense that the governor applied that Bright Futures can be the work hours. If you have an employed job like McDonald's, Publix, Public Community, whatever, that Target, Walmart, that those hours can apply towards Bright Futures. Because at the end of the day, who wants to go volunteer when you've worked flipping burgers or whatever?
Mhm.
And it's still community service. They're just getting a paycheck, and a lot of families need help from their children to
Mhm.
make rent because of the inflation in everything.
Yes. Yes, I 100% agree. And it does teach them great skills like how to be punctual, how to listen to a boss,
Yeah.
teamwork. So I am really glad that the governor decided to do that. I think we have a question if the volunteering,
The
if
value of
they,
a dollar, because now they realize uh, that we don't have a money tree
mhm.
in the backyard. So let's go to the chat and let's answer some of these questions. Hold on a second. Um, Jason from India, let me see. STEM program sounds good. Or sounds cool. Jason from YouTube, by the way, thank you. If you're listening in your car, youtube.com/MOC with Tiffany, or just look up Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. We're on live. STEM program sounds cool. I was trying to find a guest who could speak on this topic. Well, I have one here. I love when people poach my guests. Pluck 'em. Summit Innovations from Facebook. Thanks for watching on Facebook Live. Every year, back to school brought me extreme anxiety.
And that is such a normal feeling. In fact, I think it's more normal that kids feel anxious than not to. So it's important that parents communicate that with their kid, like what you're feeling is okay. Your teacher's feeling it, your friends are feeling those back to school jitters. So I'm glad that that was expressed because I know some people don't like to admit that back to school
Well, I
gives you the
remember
jitters.
the
Yeah.
summer right before, I was like tanning,
Mhm.
laying out in the sun, making sure I worked out, lost weight, I got a haircut, wanted to look different. And it's only 3 months in between, but wanted to look different for sophomore year and senior year.
Mhm.
And I was so excited to go to back to school. And see all my friends,
Mhm.
each other over the summer. But I just remember the first day back at school was like, it's like preparing for prom or job interview or something. Brian MC305 from YouTube, thanks for watching. If they use their work hours on volunteering, would that mean that they can't get paid for those hours served? No, actually, that's what they're saying. They are trying to, the bill that was passed is now saying that you can use your work hours, get paid, and apply them towards the Bright Futures.
Yeah, so it's like
And
a
that's
win-win.
Florida, yeah,
Mhm.
all of it. So that's win-win. You get paid for the Bright Futures. That's the bill that was just passed, and I can talk to you more about it later if you DM me. But it's a wonderful thing.
Mhm.
One of the few wonderful things that I'm coming up in the news, the government, that, in my opinion. But that was kind of cool, where those apply, you still get paid. When I was in college and doing my internship and practicum, there was a lot of volunteer hours, and I was lucky enough that I worked in a facility that did both. So I got paid to work and still complete my internship hours in grad school, and that's the way to go.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Because you can't do both. It's hard. If you have any more questions, you can leave them in the chat. We're on YouTube.
Mhm.
Look up Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, our LinkedIn Live, and Twitter and Facebook. And you're welcome to call in and join the conversation, 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340, as well as while you're there, if you're on your phone, type the word MOC to the number 22828. I'm trying to find this. 22828. Just type the word MOC 222828, and you will find this coming up. So, like as a message, you would type the word text MOC, and the phone number is 22828, and enter your email to receive updates. And also, if you have not voted, we only have a few days left for Moments of Clarity to get the People's Choice votes in, and last day to vote is the 31st. So
that's only a couple days away, right?
I know. So if you've been getting annoying emails from me and everything, that will end by Saturday or Sunday, and then you'll just get on who's coming up on the show. But it's basically a popular vote from listeners, and then it goes to a different level. So
very exciting. When do you find out the results?
August 7th. I'll let you guys know. Then it'll tell us if we placed the final 10 in the 5 categories. And then the judges go in and they look through everything. And then September 30th is the final award ceremony. But I was just honored to place in 3 categories last year.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks. Let's do it again. I like repeating good things. But anyways, time for a second break. And if you have any questions, please call in 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity and Melissa Kent in just a moment. Stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Hi, this is your host, Tiffany Warner from Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I want to thank you for all your support on ending the stigma on mental health for over the past 7 years and with over 600 episodes, as well as several award nominations and placing as a finalist in 3 categories on the People's Choice Podcast Award last year. If you're listening to this on audio, please visit and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Moments of Clarity with Tiffany and enjoy viewing previous shows in case you missed any live. If you're interested in advertising and would like to promote your company, it is affordable and an effective way to get your company the attention it deserves. I also welcome potential guests as well, and all information can be found on my website at MOCwithtiffany.com. Thank you again for your continued support, as change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in. And if you're just joining us, this is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name's Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and your host. And we are answering all questions related to school with Melissa Kent. She's an advocate, an educational specialist, and in the area, educational consultant that can answer any questions that if your child is struggling in school, if they've failed so many classes, if you are afraid that they might not pass or bright futures or how to help them succeed and excel. Melissa has her own company, and I'd like you to talk a little bit about that too, where you can hire her as your own personal consultant, and she will help you get everything you need together. And can we talk a little bit about that? Welcome back to Moments of Clarity, Melissa Kent, by the way.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Sure, I would love to. So yeah, as a former teacher, working in the public school systems, I witnessed every day kids just falling through the cracks, not getting what they deserved. So I left in order to change that and speak up for change. So I help families navigate the school system. I specialize in kids with IEPs and 504s. I also provide tutoring. I do reading tutoring one-on-one, which helps kids remediate any gaps in their reading. Additionally, I sit in on meetings. I review documents, and I happily go and help parents with whatever concerns they may have about their kids' education.
So how do people reach you?
They can call me or text. They can go to my website, theeducationalconsultant.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Yep, theeducationalconsultant.com. I got that there. And so they go to theeducationalconsultant.com, and how do you want them to direct message you, or
yes, they can direct message me.
Website. So the website can lead you into a mold of what you need. Do you do a free consultation to see if you are the right
Absolutely.
fit?
Absolutely. I do give free 20-minute consultations. So that gives the parents an opportunity to ask me any questions. And then from there, usually we'll set up a meeting, and we'll discuss what concerns they have and what they would like to see in their child's education and what I can do to help. And I will academically coach the child if that's what's needed. I will assist in preparing for school meetings, sitting in on the meetings.
Tutoring as well.
Yes. Yes.
So you can tutor as well, since you were an ESC teacher. So you can offer tutoring as well as other things. Jason also said, "Hey Melissa, Jason from YouTube, Jason Thomas, actually from India on YouTube. Thanks for joining us from across the globe." Hey, Melissa, speak about the podcast Social Skills for Children.
Sure. So over the summer, I held groups for social skills. And additionally, we did a podcast where we had 4 episodes that spoke on social skills. So one was on helicopter parenting, one was on reading, another was on bullying and social skills. And it's been so fun to just really dive deep into the research and see the reasons why social skills are so important. As parents and teachers, it's so easy for us to sit down with kids and do flashcards with them to get them to learn new vocabulary words. But when it comes to social interaction, sometimes we forget that they need to be taught and they need to be aware of different social situations and how to act in them. So it's been a wonderful. Yeah.
I've run a lot of social skills groups with kids, and we were thinking of collaborating on that.
Yes.
Doing the mental health piece as well at the school, but that's to be seen. But because it's very important for children to be around other children that are like-minded, that are maybe struggling with anxiety or depression, but not only that, or having trouble maybe with autism, or they feel like they're an introvert, or attention deficit hyperactivity, or depression or anxiety that are holding them back because of fear. And
exactly.
And helicopter parenting is not healthy for anyone. To micromanage your child, it takes away the educational piece and the not educational piece, individual, for them to be able to grow up and take care of problems themselves and become, through the stages of growth by Carl Jung, things like that. That we need to cut the umbilical cord and let them flourish on their own, because they need to make their own mistakes in order to learn as well. And we have to let them fall. We don't have to let them fall too hard. We can be there, but they learn as they go. That's the best way to parent, is to allow them to make mistakes and learn.
Yes. Yeah.
Mistakes are learning opportunities for all of us. Jason goes on IMJ Designs on YouTube. Helicopter parenting is surprisingly the most listened podcast we have so far. There's a lot of parents out there wondering if they're helicopter parenting. I'm sure helicopter parenting is meaning that you're just taking care of everything that your child is doing, and so it's our final stretch here. There's some things that you can ask the schools to see if it's the right school fit for your child, to see if they have academic programs. How does the school make curricular decisions based on your child's specialty? Things like that. Do they have cultural diversity, and school value diversity and inclusion, and educates on facets of diversity and identity? That's a great one. How do teachers guide students? Is a great way to figure out what kind of learning style that your child has might not be fit with certain teachers too. If they're a visual learner, audio, aesthetic, or they like to hands-on, things like that. And the teacher is complete visual or whatever on the board, take notes, and moves too fast, that they might not grow with that. And it's not their fault. They're just not retaining the information because of the teacher's style of teaching rather than the student's style of learning, or it's clashing. That's where Melissa would come in as an advocate. And another question to ask the school is, how does the school foster personal growth? Is a laboratory for ideas, and just and students acquire far more than knowledge. Do they develop proficiencies that ready them for adulthood, things like that. How does the school promote the community? So, and so forth. There's a lot of questions that you can ask to make sure that your child's in the right place for their education. I'm getting distracted.
Absolutely. And as the parent or guardian, you have every right to ask all of those questions. And whatever questions you have rights to ask because the school's taking care of your kid. Your child is in their care. So you have every right to know exactly what they are doing to help your child improve. So I love those questions. Thank you.
Here's another one from Jason on YouTube. He must know you somehow because he's just coming out with these. Melissa, no, he knows me, but he's coming out with these questions for you. Tell a funny incident while you were teaching, something that made you laugh out loud.
It's hard to just point out one, but I do have lots of happy memories of just my favorite thing is doing read-alouds, reading books out loud to the students because I just loved fostering reading in kids. So teaching is a fun job. So yes, there was.
No, tell us a funny incident while you were teaching that made you laugh out loud, not what you love about teaching. A blooper. So I have this client. I gotta tell you, I'll put this one.
Yeah, you go first.
Client where she's a teacher, and it was during the pandemic where some students wanted to be in the classroom and some were on Zoom, virtual, and she forgot the virtual and dismissed the classroom and started to vape her vape pen or whatever. And the classroom was like, "Excuse me, miss, can we be excused?" And she was like, "Tiffany, I'm gonna get fired." I'm like, I don't know, but you shouldn't be bringing that into the school.
No, not a good idea.
Right. Caught on film, but luckily she didn't really get in trouble, but she learned her lesson.
I just have to say, like, kids say funny things, and I can't exactly remember what made what incident so funny, but kids say the darnest things, and just being able to be there present in the moment and being instrumental in helping them learn was super rewarding. That's why I love working with kids.
I have a funny story too. So I was invited to my son's school as a guest speaker to talk about the radio show, talk about mental health, talk about gossiping. And but this was a few years ago, where my child used to like me to play the games with them. I was big on Fortnite, so I had my own little avatar, Arctic Assassin. I was in there and on the headsets on Xbox Live with a bunch of 6th and 7th graders. And so I'm coming into the classroom, and they're like, Miss Tiffany, it's me, member from Fortnite, the Bush Wookie," which I was saying it the wrong way, and everyone stood up and laughed. It was pretty funny because he just called me out that I was playing games with my son and his friends in the classroom. But it turned out to be a good speech, but it was really funny. Like, yes, I'm the mom on Fortnite that you played with my son. And it doesn't stop to this day. The Fortnite, yes, but on a different game, different son. It's pretty funny, but they all are like, we know you from Fortnite. And the teacher's looking at me like, really? I'm like, yep,
well, she's competing with Fortnite, so it's kind of hard.
I was kicking their butt. Yeah. Actually, I was one of those annoying campers, and then I would wait till the final 3 and then win. Like, okay, anyway, but basically, rather than try hard and get killed along the way. We have 5 minutes left. So let's wrap up. Okay, so to reach Melissa, you go to the educational, let me get this, my captions, theeducationalconsultant.com. I looked at her website. It tells all about her. You can book now. You can book it's easy to look and easy to use. Theeducationalconsultant.com. You do a free education And if you're from Moments of Clarity, don't you get a free consultation, 15 minutes or something?
Yes, of course.
I love putting my guests on the spot to give them a discount. But yeah, okay. So mention Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. And if you haven't voted already, please do
Yes.
for the 5 categories. This is the last week to do so. So vote. If you need the link, it's pretty simple. You just go to the podcastawards.com and a guide to guide you in there. But you can also look on directions on my Instagram. Go to MOCwithtiffany and follow me on Instagram. And it's there, or on Facebook, same thing. Tiffany
Yes,
Werner.
vote for Tiffany.
Hey, I need this. I need the votes, and I need to stop having to worry about asking people to vote. It's gotten to the point where people are like, okay, yes, I voted. I already told you, and you've asked me like 3 times. Before July, I apologize to everyone. I'm going to say sorry in advance because I'm going to be asking you more than once. They're like, okay, it's fine, until after the 3rd time I voted or asked them to vote, and they're like, you've already asked me. I told you I did. I'm like, I don't know who I asked or not. But anyway, Melissa, thank you for being on Moments of Clarity with Tiffany.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
TheEducationalConsultant.com. And I've heard back from several clients that I've sent her. Actually, I sent you one this morning. She should have called this morning. Just saying.
Yes, thank you.
That they were very impressed with how Melissa did this. And so I wouldn't promote someone that I didn't believe in or get positive feedback as well. At educationalconsultant.com. And for everyone else, we'll see you tomorrow with a guest that is phenomenal, a lyricist and Queen Abel, who is pregnant with twins at age 13, had them and has been struggling and doing all sorts of stuff. Now a complete activist, lyricist, poet, and musician. And her story is amazing. And so you might want to tune in tomorrow, 12 to 1. And everyone, be kind to yourself and a stranger because you never know what they're going through. Take care of yourself, your children, and each other. And change can only come when we stand together as one. And any questions? TheEducationalConsultant.com. Mention Moments of Clarity with Tiffany when you do.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks to team. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks to everyone who's already voted. And we will see you tomorrow, 12 to 1. FM and
Find your joy, trust in you.
Hey.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity.